When Asha Whitaker stepped into Lincoln High, the rumors started before her second class. They said she was dangerous. Oh, maybe even kicked out of her last school. But Asha didn't argue. She watched. She waited. And when a popular bully slammed a quiet girl's sketchbook to the ground, Asha made a choice. 10 seconds later, the entire school would see a side of her no one expected, not with rage, but with something stronger. Because Asha wasn't just the weird new girl. She carried a promise. And when that promise was tested, the hallway would never forget what came next. Just before we get started, where are you watching from today? This one's got a twist you won't see coming. Make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss more stories like this. The whispers started the moment Asha Whitaker walked through the doors of Lincoln High. She moved differently, like a dancer, some said, or like someone ready to run. Her dark eyes missed nothing, watching the hallway chaos with calm attention while other freshmen bounced between classes like pinballs. I heard she got kicked out of her last school, whispered Jaden to his lunch table. For fighting? No way, Zoe countered. My cousin goes to Marshall Prep. Says she just disappeared mid-year. Something about her parents. Asha heard these rumors. She always did. But acknowledging gossip only fed it, so she kept walking, kept watching, kept to herself. In truth, Asha had moved in with her grandmother Zora 3 months ago after her parents' divorce turned ugly. The courts decided neither parent was in a position to provide stability. Grandmother Zora provided more than stability, though. She provided wisdom. People fear what they don't understand, Zora had told her on Asha's first day. And they'll make up stories to fill that space. Let them. Your truth belongs to you alone. Every morning before school, Asha and Zora practiced together in the small garden behind their house. The martial arts form had been in their family for generations. Asha had trained since age 7, when neighborhood bullies had cornered her after school. The memory still burned, not of the bullies, but of what happened after, when fear took control of her body and someone got hurt. Power without control is just violence, Zora reminded her each morning as they moved through the forms. Your strength isn't for hurting. It's for protection, yours and others. I promise, Grandma, Asha always answered. The promise was 10 years old now. In class, Asha excelled quietly. She answered when called on but never raised her hand. She completed group projects efficiently but declined invitations to study groups. The other students stopped trying to include her by October. She's just weird, became the general consensus. Stuck up. But Asha wasn't stuck up. She was watching, learning the school's ecosystem. Who held power? Who suffered? Who stood by? The hallways of Lincoln High operated by unwritten rules, with clear kings and queens and clear targets. Tyler Thompson ruled the sophomore class with lazy confidence and sharp cruelty. His father coached the college football team across town, and Tyler wore his last name like armor. When he laughed, a dozen others laughed with him. When he shoved someone into a locker, no one helped them up. Maya Chun was his favorite target, small, Chinese-American, always carrying sketchbooks. Tyler called her Mouse and knocked her books down whenever teachers weren't looking. Asha noticed all of this. She also noticed that no teacher ever seemed to see Tyler's accidents. She noticed the vice principal laughing with Tyler's father at back-to-school night. She noticed how Maya made herself smaller each week, shoulders hunching further, voice dropping lower. One Tuesday in November, Asha broke her silence pattern. She sat beside Maya in the library. I like your drawing, she said simply. Maya startled like a spooked cat. Thanks, she whispered, already sliding her sketchbook away. The shadows are really good. The way you showed light coming through the leaves. Maya blinked. You know about drawing? No, Asha smiled slightly. But I know about seeing details others miss. For 20 minutes, they talked quietly about art and light and seeing. When the bell rang, Maya actually smiled. Do you want to sit together at lunch tomorrow? She asked. Asha hesitated. Connection meant visibility. Visibility meant risk. Grandmother Zora's voice echoed in her mind. Strength that stays hidden helps no one. Yes, Asha decided. I'd like that. That night at home, Asha told her grandmother about Maya. You're making friends, Zora observed, eyes twinkling. Good. But I sense something else is happening at this school. Asha nodded. There's a boy who hurts people because he can. Teachers let him. Everyone's afraid. Zora's hand stilled on her teacup. And what are you thinking, granddaughter? I'm thinking that fear only works when no one stands up. Remember your promise, Zora said quietly. Power without control is just violence, Asha finished. I remember, Grandma. I won't break my promise. But as she climbed the steps to Lincoln High the next morning, Asha couldn't shake the feeling that her promise would soon be tested. The hallway fell silent when Tyler Thompson slammed Maya's sketchbook to the floor. Loose drawings scattered like fallen leaves across the dirty linoleum. Oops, sorry, Mouse. Tyler sneered, not sorry at all. His friend snickered on cue. Maya dropped to her knees, frantically gathering her artwork before it could be trampled. Tears threatened, but she blinked them back. Crying only made things worse. Asha had been at her locker, 20 feet away. She saw everything, the deliberate shove, the scattered papers, the circle of onlookers forming to watch but not help. She saw Tyler's satisfaction and Maya's shame. 10 seconds of stillness. 10 seconds where Asha remembered her promise to her grandmother. Then she walked forward, knelt beside Maya, and began helping collect the drawings. Thank you, Maya whispered, so quietly only Asha could hear. Tyler's voice boomed above them. Got yourself a girlfriend, Mouse? Two weirdos together. Laughter rippled through the growing audience. Asha continued gathering papers, her movements calm and deliberate. I'm talking to you, new girl, Tyler said louder now. When Asha still didn't respond, his face darkened. He reached down and grabbed her shoulder. Don't ignore me, went on. What happened next occurred so quickly that later students would argue about the details. Tyler's hand closed on Asha's shoulder. Asha's body shifted. A fluid motion, almost gentle, and suddenly Tyler was airborne. He landed flat on his back, the impact forcing air from his lungs in an undignified whoosh. The hallway erupted in gasps and shouts. Asha hadn't even stood up. From her kneeling position, she'd simply redirected Tyler's own momentum and weight against him. Basic Aikido principles, minimum force, maximum efficiency. She finally rose, facing Tyler, who struggled to his feet, face burning with humiliation. Don't put your hands on people without permission, Asha said quietly. Tyler lunged at her, blind with rage. This time everyone clearly saw Asha sidestep, grip his extended arm and guide him, almost politely, into the lockers with a controlled thud. Stay down, she advised. I don't want to hurt you. What is going on here? Vice Principal Keller's voice cut through the commotion. The crowd parted instantly. She attacked me, Tyler sputtered, pointing at Asha. Out of nowhere. Ask anyone. 20 pairs of eyes slid away, unwilling to contradict Tyler Thompson, despite what they just witnessed. Office. Both of you. Now, Keller pointed down the hall. As Asha followed the vice principal, whispers erupted behind her. For the first time since arriving at Lincoln, she was the center of attention, exactly what she'd been avoiding. In the office, Tyler's story tumbled out in practiced innocence. I was just walking to class when this girl flipped me for no reason. She's dangerous. When Asha's turn came, she spoke simply. He pushed my chin, scattered her artwork, then grabbed me when I helped her pick it up. I defended myself without causing injury. Multiple witnesses say you attacked first, Keller said, not meeting her eyes. With respect, sir, that's not true. This is a serious offense, Ms. Whitaker. Fighting is automatic suspension. I wasn't fighting. I was preventing further aggression. Keller's phone rang. Tyler's father. The conversation was brief, filled with yes, sirs, and completely unacceptable, and handle it immediately. As Keller hung up, Maya Chen appeared in the doorway, clutching her recovered sketchbook. It wasn't Asha's fault, she said, voice barely audible. Tyler knocked down my drawings and grabbed her when she helped me. Keller frowned. This doesn't involve you, Miss Chen. Actually, it does, Maya continued, each word seemingly requiring immense effort. And I have this. She turned her sketchbook around to reveal quick drawings of the incident. Tyler shoving her, Asha helping, Tyler grabbing Asha's shoulder. "You were drawing during an altercation?" Keller asked incredulously. "I draw everything. It's how I process." Maya's voice gained strength. "And I'm not the only witness willing to speak up." Behind her stood 3 more students, including Zoe from Asha's English class. "We all saw what happened," Zoe said firmly. That afternoon, Asha sat in her grandmother's garden, explaining what had happened. "I kept my promise, Grandma. I didn't hurt him. I just stopped him." Zora's weathered hands rested on her knees. 10 years ago, a group of boys cornered you after school. You were frightened, used what little training you had without control. One boy broke his wrist when you pushed him too hard." Asha nodded. The memory still stung. "Today was different," Zora continued. "You acted with precision. Control." Her eyes met Asha's. "But now everyone knows what you can do. This changes things. I couldn't let him hurt Maya. Of course not. But power once revealed creates new challenges. Some will fear you. Others will test you. And some might need what I know," Asha said quietly. Zora's eyes sparkled. "Yes, granddaughter. That is what I was waiting for you to understand." 3 days after the hallway incident, Asha entered the community center where her grandmother had taught martial arts for 30 years. The old building smelled of floor wax and determination. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, Zora ran a women's self-defense class. Today, Asha would assist for the first time. "Remember," Zora told her as they arranged floor mats, "we're not teaching them to fight. We're teaching them to stand in their power." The class began at 4. Women of various ages filtered in, talking quietly among themselves. At 4:10, the door opened again, and Maya Chin slipped in, looking nervous and out of place. Asha froze mid-sentence. Maya gave a small wave. "You came?" Asha said during the water break. After what happened, Maya fidgeted with her water bottle. "I want to learn what you know. It takes years to. I don't need to flip people. I just need to stop feeling scared all the time." The raw honesty in Maya's voice struck Asha silent. She nodded. Word spread quickly through Lincoln High. Within weeks, the whispers about Asha changed tone. "She trains with her grandmother. They teach self-defense to women. I heard she could have hurt Tyler way worse, but didn't. My cousin's taking classes at that community center now." Tyler himself had returned to school subdued. The usual swagger was muted, replaced by watchful resentment. His friends still circled him, but something had shifted in their dynamic. When Tyler passed Asha in the hallway, he gave her a wide berth, eyes darting away. The peace lasted 3 weeks. Then Tyler found a new target, Jamila, a freshman who wore a hijab. The harassment started subtly, comments just quiet enough that teachers couldn't hear, accidentally pulling at her scarf when passing in the cafeteria. Maya noticed first. "He's just picking someone he thinks won't fight back," she told Asha at lunch. "Like he did with me." Asha watched Jamila sit alone, head down, trying to be invisible. The familiar position of prey. "We should invite her to join us," Asha said. Jamila was hesitant, but eventually accepted their lunch invitation. Slowly, she began to share what was happening. "My parents say to ignore it. That causing trouble only makes things worse for Muslims here." Her fingers twisted in her lap. "But it's getting harder to ignore." That Thursday, Jamila came to the community center class. Her parents had reluctantly agreed after grandmother Zora spoke with them personally. The class was growing. 6 girls from Lincoln now attended regularly. They practiced stance, awareness, simple evasion techniques. Zora emphasized the philosophy behind the movements. Your body is yours to defend. Your space is yours to protect. These boundaries are sacred. After class, walking home through the park with Maya and Jamila, Asha felt a new lightness. For years, she had kept her training private, her skills hidden. Now, sharing what she knew felt right, like finding a voice she didn't know she'd lost. The moment shattered when Tyler and 2 friends stepped out from behind the playground equipment. "Well, look who it is." "The Freak Squad," Tyler called out. His voice was too loud, his movements jittery. Something was off. Maya stepped closer to Asha. Jamila's hands tightened on her backpack straps. "We're just walking home, Tyler," Asha said evenly. "Playing ninja teacher now, huh?" He stumbled slightly. The smell of alcohol reached them. "Teaching all the little victims your tricks." "You're drunk," Asha stated flatly. "Go home before you do something stupid." Tyler's face darkened. "Don't tell me what to do, bitch. You got lucky last time." One of his friends pulled at his arm. "Come on, man. This isn't worth it." Tyler shook him off, stepping closer. "You think you're so special with your kung fu bullshit. My dad says girls like you just need to be put in their place." Asha felt cold anger rising. The kind her grandmother had warned about. The kind that could make her break her promise. "Tyler," she said, fighting to keep her voice steady, "you're better than this." He laughed. "You don't know anything about me. I know you're hurting people because someone's hurting you." Tyler froze. Something flickered across his face, pain, quickly masked by fury. He lunged forward. Asha pushed Maya and Jamila back, preparing to defend them. But before she could move, Jamila stepped forward and shouted, "Stop," with such unexpected force that Tyler actually halted. "We see you," Jamila continued, her voice shaking but determined. "3 guys against 3 girls? Is that how you prove you're strong?" Maya joined her. "We're not afraid of you anymore." Tyler looked between them, confusion replacing anger. This wasn't how his targets were supposed to act. They were supposed to cower, to run, to cry. His friends tugged him backward. "Let's go. This is stupid." This time, Tyler let himself be pulled away. As they left, he glanced back once, expression unreadable. When they were gone, Asha turned to her friends in amazement. Neither had used physical techniques. Yet they had protected themselves. With voices, with presence, with solidarity. That, she said finally, was perfect self-defense. Later that night, she told her grandmother what had happened. "They didn't need me to protect them," Asha said, still processing. "They protected themselves." Zora smiled. "That is the greatest gift a teacher can give, making herself unnecessary." She poured tea for them both. "But something is troubling you about this boy." Asha nodded slowly. "There's something wrong in his home. I can see it in him, the same patterns, the same pain. He hurts others because someone's hurting him. Compassion for those who harm us is the hardest wisdom to learn," Zora said. "What will you do with this understanding?" Asha stared into her tea, watching the leaves swirl. "I don't know yet, but something has to change." Principal Warren summoned Asha to her office during third period. The formal request slip made Asha's stomach tighten. Since the incident with Tyler, she had kept a careful balance, visible enough to support her growing circle of friends, invisible enough to avoid further confrontation. The principal's office was warm, with plants crowding the windowsill and student artwork tacked to a bulletin board. Not what Asha expected. "Ms. Whitaker," Principal Warren gestured to a chair. "Thank you for coming promptly." Asha sat, back straight, hands folded, ready for whatever disciplinary action was coming. Instead, Principal Warren placed a folder on the desk between them. "I've been reviewing some concerning patterns in student incident reports." She opened the folder, revealing a spreadsheet. Reported bullying incidents have increased 30% this semester. However, she looked up at Asha. Reports from certain student demographics have decreased. Girls, specifically. Asha remained silent, waiting. Vice Principal Keller attributes this to better hallway monitoring. "I attribute it to something or someone else." She leaned forward. "I've heard about the community center classes. About what your grandmother teaches." "Self-defense," Asha said carefully. "Yes. And from what I gather, something more." Principal Warren closed the folder. "Several teachers have noted a change in classroom dynamics. Girls who previously never spoke up are participating. Students who were isolated are forming connections." She fixed Asha with a direct gaze. "I'd like you to tell me what's really happening." The question hung in the air. Asha weighed her words carefully. This was either an opportunity or a trap. "My grandmother teaches physical techniques, yes, but mostly she teaches people to value themselves." to set boundaries, to stand together. And you've been sharing these lessons at school, informally, with friends. Principal Warren nodded slowly. Ms. Whitaker, I've been in education for 23 years. I've seen countless anti-bullying programs come and go. Guest speakers. Zero-tolerance policies. None have created the shift I'm seeing among your peers. She stood, walking to the window. I want to formalize what you're doing. Create a proper program here at Lincoln. A student-led initiative with faculty support. Asha blinked in surprise. You want me to teach self-defense at school? I want you to teach what you're already teaching. Confidence, solidarity, self-worth. The physical techniques are just the vehicle. She turned. Would you be willing to work with me on designing this program? The question left Asha speechless. From outsider to leader in less than a semester? It seemed impossible. I don't know if I'm qualified, she managed. You have more qualifications than you realize. Think about it. Principal Warren wrote something on a notepad. This is my personal email. Let me know your decision by Friday. Walking out of the office, Asha felt dizzy with possibility and fear. Public speaking terrified her. Leading a program meant visibility she'd spent years avoiding. At lunch, she told Maya and Jamila about the meeting. Their excitement was immediate. This is amazing, Maya exclaimed. You have to do it. But it would be so public, Asha said. Everyone watching, judging. Jamila, who rarely spoke above a whisper months ago, fixed Asha with a determined look. When I started wearing hijab last year, everyone stared. I wanted to disappear. But my mother told me something I'll never forget. When you hide your light, you tell the world your darkness is more important. The words hit Asha like a physical force. Her grandmother had been trying to teach her the same lesson all along. That afternoon, Asha's phone buzzed with a text. The number wasn't saved in her contacts, but the message chilled her. You think you're helping. You made everything worse for him. This is on you. Attached was a photo of Tyler. I blackened, lips split. Asha showed her grandmother the message that evening. Someone is hurting him, she said quietly. And they're blaming me for it. Zora studied the image. This boy's pain didn't start with you, Asha. But perhaps it can end with you. Oh, he won't even look at me anymore. Some wounds require time before they're ready for healing. Zora handed back the phone. Meanwhile, I believe Principal Warren is offering you a chance to help many others. What if I fail? What if no one comes? What if they laugh? What if they don't? Zora countered. What if you help one person stand taller? Would that be worth your fear? The next morning, Asha sent an email to Principal Warren. I'm in, but I want to call it Standing Together, not Self-Defense. And I want it open to everyone, not just girls. The response came within minutes. Absolutely. Let's meet tomorrow to discuss details. As word spread about the new program, Asha noticed Tyler watching her from a distance. His black eye had faded to yellowish green. When their eyes met across the cafeteria, he didn't look away with his usual anger. Instead, something like curiosity, or perhaps longing, flickered across his face before he turned back to his diminishing circle of friends. The first Standing Together session was scheduled for Tuesday after school. Asha spent the entire day battling nausea. What had seemed possible in theory now felt impossible in reality. I can't do this, she told Maya as they set up the auxiliary gym. I'm not a public speaker. I'm not a leader. Weird, Maya replied calmly, because you've been both for months now. The doors opened. Students began filtering in, not just the girls from community center classes, but others Asha barely knew. Boys, too, looking awkward but determined. Principal Warren nodded encouragingly from the back wall. Asha froze, panic rising. Then she spotted Jamila helping a freshman find a place on the floor mats. Maya straightening the resource table. These friends she'd made, these connections once unimaginable, they were real. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. Standing is power, she began, her grandmother's words flowing through her. Together is strength. Welcome to Standing Together. By the session's end, 34 students had learned basic stances, breathing techniques, and the most important lesson, your body is yours to defend. Your space is yours to protect. These boundaries are sacred. As students filed out, energized and talking, Principal Warren approached. "This is exactly what our school needs," she said. "How soon can we schedule the next session?" Behind the principal, through the gym doors, Asha caught a glimpse of Tyler watching. When he realized she'd seen him, he didn't run or sneer. He simply nodded once, the barest acknowledgement, before walking away. Something had shifted, not just in the school, but in the possibility of healing. By December, Standing Together had become an official school program, meeting twice weekly after classes. What began with 34 students grew to over 60. Principal Warren arranged for partial credit toward physical education requirements, legitimizing the program within the school curriculum. Asha still experienced butterflies before each session, but they were different now, excitement rather than dread. The transformation in her peers was unmistakable. Students who once hugged hallway walls now walked down the center. Lunch tables that had been strictly segregated by social status began to mix. It's not just the physical techniques, Jamila observed during their weekly planning session. It's that people are finding their voices. Maya nodded. And finding each other. The program expanded beyond physical self-defense. Students added components based on their own strengths. Maya developed an art therapy corner. Jamila started a discussion group addressing cultural differences and common ground. When Zoe revealed her coding skills, she created an anonymous reporting system for students experiencing bullying. Standing Together became exactly that, a community standing as one against the isolation and fear that had pervaded Lincoln High. Tyler remained on the periphery, watching but never participating. His social status had diminished since the hallway incident. Rumors suggested his football teammates no longer included him in parties. He walked the halls alone more often than not. One Tuesday in January, Asha arrived early to prepare the gym and found Tyler sitting against the wall, head down. She approached cautiously. "The session doesn't start for 30 minutes. He looked up, eyes red-rimmed. "I know. I just—" He trailed off, then thrust a crumpled paper toward her. "My dad." The paper was a disciplinary notice from the football coach. Tyler had been cut from the team for attitude problems and declining performance. "He's going to kill me," Tyler said flatly. Football was everything to him. Something in his tone made Asha's skin prickle. "What do you mean, kill you?" Tyler's laugh was hollow. Figure of speech. Mostly, he touched his jaw unconsciously. "Last time I disappointed him, I fell down the stairs." The pieces clicked into horrible clarity. Tyler's aggression. The black eye after the park confrontation. The text message blaming Asha. "Your dad hits you," she said quietly. Tyler stiffened, then deflated. "Doesn't matter." "It does matter. There are people who can help." "Like who?" "Coach Peters. He worships my dad." "Principal Warren?" "She plays golf with him." Bitterness laced every word. "Nobody stands up to Coach Thompson." "I would," Asha said simply. Tyler stared at her. "Why?" "After everything I did. Because what's happening to you is wrong. And because I think you could be more than what your father's making you become." For a long moment, Tyler said nothing. Then he stood abruptly. "I shouldn't have come here." He headed for the door. "Tyler," Asha called after him. "The session starts at 4. If you want to learn how to stand up for yourself, really stand up, you're welcome here." He paused, back still turned. "I don't deserve welcome." "It's not about deserving. It's about needing." After Tyler left, Asha called her grandmother. "I need your help," she explained. "There's a student being abused at home. His father is powerful in the community. No one believes or wants to believe what's happening." Zora listened without interrupting. When Asha finished, she asked, "Is this the boy who bullied you?" "Yes." "And now you want to help him?" "Yes." Zora's smile was audible even through the phone. "Then you have learned the most important lesson I could teach you. Bring him to me after your session today." If he comes. Tyler didn't show up for that day's Standing Together session. Or the next. Asha watched for him in the hallways, but he seemed to have vanished. Then on Friday, Vice Principal Keller made an announcement. Coach Thompson has taken a leave of absence for personal reasons. Assistant Coach Rivera will be assuming his duties. A buzz of speculation rippled through the school. By lunch, rumors circulated that Child Protective Services had visited the Thompson home. That Tyler was staying with his aunt. That Coach Thompson had been escorted from campus after threatening Principal Warren. Maya slid into her seat across from Asha. "Did you have something to do with this?" "Not directly," Asha said carefully. "My grandmother made some calls to old friends. People who understand that systems sometimes protect the wrong people. Jamila joined them. Is Tyler okay?" "I don't know," Asha admitted. "I hope so." As January melted into February, Standing Together continued to grow. The school newspaper ran a feature on the program. A local TV station sent a reporter to cover the student-led revolution in school culture. Principal Warren pulled Asha aside after the media visit. "You've created something remarkable here," she said. "I've been in contact with other principals who want to implement similar programs." "It wasn't just me," Asha insisted. "It's everyone who decided to stand up." "True. But someone had to stand up first." The principal smiled. "That courage deserves recognition." 2 days later, a school assembly was called. Asha, unaware of the purpose, sat with Maya and Jamila near the back. Principal Warren took the microphone. "Today, we recognize a fundamental shift in our school culture," she began. "Lincoln High has seen a 60% decrease in reported bullying incidents this semester. More importantly, we've seen a community forum where one didn't exist before." She gestured to the side of the stage. "We have a special announcement." A representative from the governor's office stepped forward. "The State Youth Leadership Council has selected Lincoln High's Standing Together program as a model initiative for schools across the state. We'll be providing funding to expand the program and train student leaders from other districts." Applause thundered through the auditorium. "Would Asha Whitaker please join us on stage?" the representative requested. Frozen with surprise, Asha felt Maya and Jamila pushing her gently to her feet. As she walked toward the stage, she scanned the auditorium and spotted a figure slipping in through the back doors. Tyler Thompson stood at the very rear, watching intently. When their eyes met, he gave her a small nod, acknowledgement, respect, perhaps even gratitude. Then he was gone, disappearing back through the doors before anyone else noticed his presence. On stage, Asha accepted the certificate with trembling hands. Looking out at her peers, many now friends, most now part of something bigger than themselves, she finally understood what her grandmother had been teaching her all along. True strength never stands alone. It stands with others, lifting them up until they too can stand. On a bright March morning, Asha prepared for the final Standing Together session of the semester. The program would continue next year, officially part of Lincoln High's curriculum now, but today marked a transition. Many of the original participants would become peer leaders, taking the techniques and philosophy to middle schools across the district. The auxiliary gym had become too small months ago. They now used the main gymnasium, with colored mats covering half the basketball court. Resource tables lined the walls, staffed by both students and community partners. The women's shelter, youth counseling services, even the police department's community outreach officer. "Nervous?" Maya asked, arranging handouts on healing through artistic expression. "A little," Asha admitted. "It's a big crowd today." The session had been advertised as open to parents and community members, a showcase of what Standing Together had accomplished. Already, adults were filtering in, finding seats in the bleachers. Among them, Asha spotted her grandmother, elegant in her traditional blue and gold dress. Zora gave her a subtle thumbs up. Principal Warren approached, accompanied by 2 suited visitors. "Asha, these are the superintendents from Westridge and Lakeside districts. They're here to see about implementing Standing Together in their schools next fall." Asha shook hands, answering questions about training requirements and program structure. 3 months ago, such attention would have terrified her. Now it felt like purpose. As they finished setting up, Asha noticed a commotion at the gym entrance. Tyler Thompson stood uncertainly in the doorway, scanning the room. When he spotted Asha, he started forward, then hesitated. Asha crossed him. You came. Tyler nodded, jaw tight with tension. Wasn't sure I'd be welcome. I told you before, this is about needing, not deserving. He glanced at the growing crowd. I don't think I can do this. Not with everyone watching. Then let's start somewhere else. Asha led him to a quiet corner behind the bleachers. For the first time, Tyler spoke openly about the past months. After the school's intervention, he'd moved in with his aunt. His father had entered a court-mandated anger management program. Tyler was seeing a counselor twice weekly. It's weird, he said. For years, I thought fear was respect. That hurting others made me strong. He traced a scar on his wrist. Turns out I was just copying him, becoming what I hated most. But you're here now, Asha observed. That's a different choice. Yeah, well. He looked away. Seeing you build something good after I tried to tear you down, it made me think maybe I could build something too. At 4 o'clock, Asha took her place at the center of the gym. The crowd fell silent. Standing is power, she began, voice clear and confident. Together is strength. Welcome to Standing Together. For the next hour, students demonstrated what they'd learned. Physical techniques, yes, but also communication strategies, boundary setting, intervention methods for bystanders. Jamila led a powerful segment on cultural solidarity. Maya guided everyone through an art exercise about belonging. From her corner, Asha noticed Tyler watching intently, eyes following every demonstration, every interaction. She could almost see the wheels turning in his mind, processing, connecting, perhaps healing. When the formal presentations ended, visitors circulated among the resource tables. Grandmother Zora found Asha near the water cooler. You have built something beautiful, child, she said, squeezing Asha's hands. We built it together, Asha corrected. I couldn't have done this without your teaching. Zora's eyes crinkled with pleasure. Some seeds need only the right soil to flourish. She nodded toward Tyler, who stood alone by the exit. And some need more tending than others. As the crowd thinned, Asha approached Tyler again. What did you think? It's not what I expected, he admitted. I thought it would be all punches and kicks. But it's more about. He searched for the word, dignity. That's exactly it, Asha said, surprised by his perception. Physical techniques are just tools. The real strength comes from knowing your own worth. Tyler nodded slowly. I've been working with my counselor on this anger thing. She says I need healthy outlets. He scuffed his shoe against the floor. Do you think, would it be completely crazy if I asked to help with standing together? Not leading or anything. Just, I don't know, setting up mats or whatever. The request was so unexpected that Asha momentarily fell silent. Tyler misinterpreted her pause. Forget it. Stupid idea. He turned to leave. Wait, Asha called. It's not stupid. It's brave. He turned back, skepticism written across his face. We need all kinds of voices in this program, she continued, including people who understand both sides of bullying, those who've experienced it and those who've participated in it. Hope flickered in Tyler's eyes. Really? Really? In fact, Asha considered the idea forming. There's a middle school component starting this summer. We could use someone who understands team dynamics. Someone working on transforming anger into something constructive. For the first time since she'd known him, Tyler's smile reached his eyes. I'd like that. As they walked back toward the gym center, Maya intercepted them. Her eyes widened at seeing Tyler, but she recovered quickly. Principal Warren wants to get a group photo for the website, she explained. Everyone who's been part of Standing Together. Tyler began to step away. You'll join us, Asha said firmly. If you want to. He hesitated, then nodded. The group gathered near the Lincoln High banner, dozens of students who had found connection, voice, and strength together. Once rigid social barriers had dissolved, the chess club president stood beside the track team captain. Drama students mingled with mathletes. As the photographer counted down, Grandmother Zora slipped to Asha's side. Look at what you have created, she whispered. From one moment of standing up, all of this has grown. The camera flashed, capturing a moment of transformation, not just of school culture, but of individual lives. Tyler, standing awkwardly at the edge of the group. Maya, confidence radiating where once she tried to disappear. Jamila, hijab worn proudly, no longer afraid to be seen. And Asha at the center, no longer the girl who kept to herself, who feared visibility, who hid her strength. Later, walking home with her grandmother in the golden afternoon light, Asha reflected on the journey from that first hallway confrontation to today. When I flipped Tyler that day, I was so afraid I'd broken my promise to you, she admitted. That I'd used my training in anger. And had you? Zora asked. No, Asha realized. I was protecting, not hurting. But I never imagined where that one moment would lead. Zora smiled. The stone that starts the avalanche never knows what mountains it will move. They walked in comfortable silence for a moment. I saw you talking with that boy. The one who bullied you. Asha nodded. Tyler. He's trying to change. And you're helping him. Everyone deserves the chance to become better than they were. Zora's eyes shone with pride. That, my dear granddaughter, is the greatest strength of all. As they turned onto their street, Asha's phone buzzed with a message. Maya had sent the group photo, everyone beaming beneath the Standing Together banner. In that image, Asha saw not just what they had built, but what they would continue building. A community where strength meant lifting others up, where power came from standing together, and where even those who had caused harm could find their way to healing. The girl who had once kept to herself, who had once feared being seen, now stood at the center of something greater than herself. And in that standing, she had found her truest power. Sometimes, the strongest people aren't the loudest. They're the ones who stand up when it's hardest, who protect others even when no one's watching. Asha didn't fight to win. She acted with calm, with care, and with purpose. That's what real strength looks like. It's not about hurting back. It's about knowing when to step in, when to stay grounded, and when to lead others towards something better. Even those who cause harm may be carrying pain of their own. But change begins with someone brave enough to see the full picture and kind enough to help others see it too. When we choose courage over silence, connection over fear, and compassion over revenge, we don't just protect ourselves, we build something bigger. A community, a movement, a new way forward. And that's how one person standing tall can help others rise too. That's the end of the story. Do you think Asha made the right call by welcoming him back in? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching. Share this with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe. Click and keep watching another story that might just change your day.